okay, into a situation 3v3, but currently right now that is just not the case, and it's really all about synergy. That's what you look at from all these teams. Look at the team of Check 6, a BM Hunter bringing in basically that uncontrollable damage, the Lust coming in from an enhancement shaman, basically just putting in that little extra DPS necessary to drop a target with those Spirit Wolves and all those pets coming in, and then Paladin as a healer basically having those defensive cooldowns to chain through. As a lot of these games, you've seen them, they try to make it to that second hex. Generally, all it takes is a little bit of interruption, and if they make it to a hex that cannot be trinketed, it is pretty much done for, because Beast of Wrath is usually, the second Beast of Wrath is usually up about that time.
So talk about misinformation. Complexity stood up for a long time, and you guys can see.
They're going to go right back to it. So we are going to have Check 6 running that BM Hunter, Holy Paladin, and Enhancement Shaman. And on the other side of things, once again, it's going to be a Survival Hunter, Resto Druid, Enhancement Shaman.
Yeah, there were points when they did spike down Twix and Flex, but overall, not much happened. Already an aim shot onto Big Papa Pump, the Enhancement Shaman from the team of Complexity. And he's getting right up onto Toes. They're going to go for Toes this time. But unfortunately, he does have a bubble if something happens. Still sticking on him. And now Enhancement Shaman's down to half right now, taking a lot of damage right now. Shamanistic Rage is up, but so is Aim Strike.
And now you see him still at 3,000. And you know what? Yeah, the Enhancement Shaman's going to die while your Druid has up NS. It's just too much damage. Shamanistic Rage, unable to save him. But also, one thing I want to note when comparing those two Shamans, Flex sitting around 20,000 HP. And on the other side of things, Big Papa Pump had about 25k.
That's a big difference.
So Flex opting for a lot more offensive.
Yeah, Flex definitely eager. I mean, look at the weapons here.
So that's going to be pretty much it. That's going to be the conclusion. Well, not the conclusion of the series, but Check 6 winning the series 3-0, and we're still going to play out Game 4 and Game 5, but I don't really see much changing.
Hey, we get to see this comp again. We're seeing new and exciting comps every round.
And taking a quick look at the damage breakdown, nothing too crazy except for whenever you just look at Flex's damage compared to the Enhancement Shaman of Complexity. Flex doing 69,000, almost 70,000 damage. Complexity's Enhancement Shaman doing almost 7,000. Minus the 0. Not that extra 0. So not 70,000, 7,000. So,
all right, so Sewers. This is they've played Blade's Edge twice so far, plus a Nagrand. They've lost all 3. So do you think their luck's going to change with Sewers?
I
mean, they can jump off. The pets have to chase them.
I don't think I've actually said it to a team just yet, but I'm going to go and say Complexity is just no bueno at this point. They're bad off. I don't think that this is going to turn around in any way, shape, or form, no matter what arena you throw it on.
Yeah, I mean, look at the difference. Okay, now he has 21,000. Okay, so it's going to be a bit different, of course. Flex is rocking the might, too. I mean, there's going to be a large difference in damage.
That it is. You know what? I think even Toast throws a might up on some Spirit Wolves as they come out might as well.
Maybe they were thinking with the Druid that the Thorns would help him against the pets.
That would take a long time. Be a hell of a strat, though.
It would.
And now we see Gates about to open. This is Game 4 between Check 6 and Complexity. Check 6 already winning at 3-0, but here we go. And now the game has started. And there we once again, early scatter shot with freezing arrow on the Toes. But actually, he's going to get off the Vine Sack first, it looked like. And, yep, he's going to break out of that very easily. And once again, Enhancement Shaman of Complexity taking a lot of damage. And Flex going to go ahead and use his Shamanistic Rage as well. But Complexity's Enhancement Shaman in a lot of trouble. Arcane Turret and an HOJ, and that's it. Down goes Enhancement Shaman of Complexity once again. And this 4th round, another clear, easy win for Check 6.
They could have rolled the dice with RMP and hoped for Blade's Edge or something. It probably would have given them a better chance than this.
The synergy of Survival and
that was baller right there.
And Enhancement Shaman, they don't have that rush down that you're seeing out of Check 6. They do have consistent damage over time, but it's just they can't make it past the burst with Druid Healer in there.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can to keep himself alive. Even faking the nourish right there. Oh, and he's crawling away in trouble for him. Sparkskin's down. He's done.
All right, we will play out that 5th game, though, between Complexity and Czech 6, but already over as far as the series goes, but we do play these games out in case it does come down to wins and losses overall when we try to figure out the top 4 for Sunday in that double elimination portion of the tournament.
Big numbers out of the Complexity Shaman. Again, 889 hardest hit. You know, even at level 60, that wouldn't even be big.
And just look at the overall damage done. Flex 80, almost 85,000, and then on the other side of things, almost 9,000. Just that's not going to work.
And I mean, look at the difference between the hunters. Twix doing, 80,000 damage, and then, however you would pronounce that, at around 20,000.
Just not looking good at all for the team of Complexity. And they will have the opportunity to talk things through if they want to swap it up, but it looks like they're just going to stay seated and queue up, and it is going to be on Ruins of Lordran for the final game between Czech 6 and Complexity.
Maybe this is their map. They haven't played on it yet. And they didn't get Ring of Valor.
Well, it's still not really going to change the results of these past games. The only thing we did see is that good spike onto Flex, onto Grand Arena, but honestly, it looks like another one of those situations where Toes might have just got a little lazy and not been ready for the damage to come through. And we did see actually Twix die in one of the games against SKEU where the same thing happened.
Yeah, and what is it? SKEU has done the best against Czech 6 so far?
Probably so.
Yeah.
And looking over to the pet on the side of Complexity is
look at this.
Maybe this will be the moment where they go for it. Actually, a lot of damage coming out from this team early on, but they're going to go onto the Druid of Complexity, who's in a lot of trouble, but Twix actually taking a good amount of damage as well, going to feign death and stop a little bit of damage. And it looks like both of these teams kind of changing things up, and now we're going to have a bump on the Twix. He'll go ahead and click that off almost immediately. Or actually, it looks like it got purged, as they're just going to continuously pressure this Druid of Complexity. And he's getting very low, 6,000 Flex connects. Wind Fury goes off.
Oh, they might get a kill. They got a kill.
And Twix goes down, and Complexity turns it around that little bit. But honestly, this Druid of Complexity not out of the woods just yet. Flex not giving up and going to play it out to the end as Toes did bubble. But he's going to just continuously haunt himself and try to make it through to the end of this.
And there's the Innervate used. And this is going to be tough for Flex right now, even though he does have this healer from Toes behind him. Toes just can't get CC'd right now.
And that's going to do it. Toes is going to keep up Flex for a little while, but there we go. Scatter shot, going to interrupt a little bit of Toes healing, and they just have to put Flex down that last little bit. And here it goes. And Complexity going to take this last round against Czech 6, making the score final at Czech 6-4 over Complexity 1.
Yeah, Czech 6 definitely should not have gone on the Druid. I mean, they were just out-damaging him so much, but...
You know, honestly, these teams that get up in these situations of winning series 4-0 in that 5th game, I think it is smart of them to try different things, even though if it's just even a little thing like that, changing up a strategy. Because, maybe later on as you go into the double elimination, this little bit of information you're able to gain from doing those things might turn around and help you out later on.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's going to be the end of the series of Czech 6 versus Complexity. Pretty clear, easy win for Czech 6. Even though Complexity did take that last win. But we do have a few more matches coming up. We will have SKUS versus SKEU next, Czech 6 versus Button Bashers after, and last, BHMS versus Complexity. But first, a short commercial break here live from Anaheim for the Major League Gaming 2009